What's up everyone, Arthur here, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about how I started my investment journey, what I use to invest now, and hopefully make some recommendations for you guys to try as well. So I labeled this video as another source of passive income. However, I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate. I think investing can be a source of passive income if you have a consistent revenue stream such as a job and you manage to put away relatively easily $100 a week or $100 a month that you can consistently place into investments. This can be from anything like index funds, the S&P 500, ASX, you name it. But the reality is, if you're a student or someone that doesn't have a consistent revenue stream, or simply just you're starting out in investing and you're figuring things out, researching and simply understanding what you are investing in, such as potential returns, etc. In that respect, it certainly isn't passive. Similarly, the fact that you're not making consistent income makes it more difficult for you to put away money or put aside money that you're not going to require short term. This means that you're more engaged in the planning process, and that kind of defeats the whole point of passive income. Anyway, before we continue on how I started investing and what my current return was over the last 3 to 4 months, I ask that you please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot, and that means I know that you guys want to see more content like this in the future. So the main topic of today are all the big names that for some reason have not been covered by the media. Yes, I'm talking about cryptocurrencies, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, you name it. This has been absolutely bizarre to me. Whilst everyone has been focusing on the US elections, and I'm sure a bunch of other things that have been happening around the world, Bitcoin managed to climb over 19,000 USD. Which was the highest since 2017, and even other cryptocurrencies were showing significant growths too. Here is the graph for Ethereum. So we see in around 2018, it hit a massive peak of 1.3K, and now it's significantly less, but you can see it's been a steep climb over the last couple of months. Now, taking a look at something like Ripple, around October, November, very flat, and then bam, a massive spike over the last 2 months. And of course, here is the graph for Bitcoin. So in 2017, as many people know, there was an enormous spike. However, just recently, it went back up to 19,000. So this all was a couple weeks ago, and since then there's been quite a big correction in the market. So the big question is, why was there a spike? Notably, we had PayPal announce that in 2021 they will be accepting cryptocurrencies as a source of funding, as well as some of the largest banks in the world saying that they're utilizing Ripple in some way or another. I want to make another video about this, discussing what that all really means, but for now, let's just assume that all these have resulted in positive movement in most popular cryptocurrencies. So why is Bitcoin going up? Well, one very interesting thing happened, and it happens roughly every 4 years. The last time around, I was too young to really understand it. You guessed it, I'm talking about the halvening. So that essentially means that the supply of Bitcoin has been halved, and it happens every 4 years, or when a certain amount of Bitcoin has been mined. Naturally, simple economics will tell you that the supply decreased, and as long as the demand doesn't substantially decrease too, the price should rise. So before this halvening, I had some other Bitcoin lying around, but nothing substantial. So just for reference later in this video, this is when I bought into most of my Bitcoin and a couple other cryptocurrencies. And this was somewhat of an experiment because I finally understood what I was doing. So my main reasons for investing into Bitcoin was speculation on two very important things. Number one was the halvening, and secondly was the uncertainty of the 2020 election. And I think no one could have predicted this, but of course, COVID-19. So I think due to the overwhelming uncertainty of 2020, Bitcoin was utilized almost like gold for many investors. Plus, the general hype of Bitcoin is yet to let me down, but it does seem like it was lacking in these last several months. So this is a graph of the previous points when Bitcoin was halved. And as we can see, the first two, even the third, was quite didn't really have a large effect on Bitcoin, but obviously this is exponential. So from the last two, it's essentially a massive speculation to assume that another halvening will result in an even larger spike. But I think in general it has paid off. As I've said, Bitcoin reached 19.1, I think, USD, and it seems to be hovering around that point at the moment. So cryptocurrencies was the first thing that I started to invest in, and I played around with a number of different platforms such as Plus 500, IG Markets, even eToro, and eventually I found Coinspot. Coinspot has been by far one of the best platforms that I have found for a number of major points. Usually when you sign up onto investing trading platforms, you get hit with relatively large deposit minimums, such as $400, $500. That was the case with IG, even that's the case with eToro. And often those platforms take a cut simply from you depositing that amount. Coinspot doesn't do any of those things, and your initial deposit amount can be as low as $1. Plus, it's a company that's based in Melbourne, Australia, which is where I'm from. Secondly, and this is very important, Coinspot is focused on solely trading cryptocurrencies. I believe they trade over 150 different cryptocurrencies, and for me, that allows me to separate my stock portfolio with my cryptocurrency portfolio, and it makes things a little bit easier in my head. I also found that the buying and selling prices are more similar to the market and aren't as inflated as other platforms. For example, eToro, I know, inflates their prices quite a bit. So Coinspot is much better in that respect. Number 3 is trading fees. Obviously, these trading platforms need to make money, so every time you place an order, there is usually a trading fee. Now, Coinspot charges a flat rate fee of 0.1%, whether you're buying or selling. For your information, that is below the industry average of 0.25%. So that is a massive competitive advantage for Coinspot, and that's one of the big reasons why I use it. Coinspot also offers instant buying and selling between cryptocurrencies, but this comes at a 1% transaction fee. Number 4, many trading platforms charge withdrawal fees, and Coinspot does not. To me, this has made Coinspot perfect for anyone, especially for people who are just starting out and do not want to pay all these extra little transaction fees that all add up in the end. In saying this, if you use the first link in the description to sign up for Coinspot and make a deposit, you will also be given an additional 10 AUD in Bitcoin on top of your deposit. That's $10 for free if you sign up to Coinspot with the link and make your first deposit. The sign up process is pretty straightforward. I think you just have to provide some basic ID and deposit some cash. Be rest assured that Coinspot has your information and your money as safe as it can be. This exchange's security code is a B- when doing the security test at Mozilla. This sounds strange. You think B-, oh, that's not great. But as a matter of fact, most exchanges receive a score of an F when running this observatory test. So that's a great score for Coinspot. But most impressively, it is Australia's first exchange awarded internationally recognized certification for information security. So there you have it. This is the login page for Coinspot. We have your email and your password once you've created an account. And after this, there is even a 2-factor authentication code just for extra security. Once you log in, you'll have a dashboard. You can see the dashboard represents your entire portfolio growth. So that includes the amount of money you deposit into your account. So as you can see, this is my growth over the last 2 months. I don't want to show you the exact numbers, but as you can see, this is pretty significant. And this is without adding money. So this is from whatever I bought back in around March. And over those 3 months, the return has been roughly 150%. And the majority of my portfolio is made up from Bitcoin. So we can have a look at the breakdown here. So there's just a pie chart, 75% Bitcoin, and the rest are just minor investments in other cryptos. So perhaps I'll reveal the numbers in a later video, but as you can see, there's a significant amount of growth, and the main strategy here is invest and hold. And there have been times where I've developed some extra income. Maybe it was from my other passive income ideas, and I basically just flushed them all into here or my other investments. I think in this video, I might have made it seem like I tried to time the market here, but the reality is that that's almost impossible. I don't think you should try to time the market at all. I think the best strategy that you should have is always hold to mid to long term, especially when you're young and especially when you're just starting out. in investing in general. That's all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, don't forget to use the link in the description. You get a free $10 once you deposit some money on Coinspot. Let me know how everything goes for you. I wish I was starting out again. I remember it being a lot of fun and learning a lot about the process. Don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I will take your stocks. Happy trading.